A mother and her 4 daughters were separated at the border in 2018. This is what they lost, she answered. It's a relief. Sometimes, the calls to Honduras drop or don't go through. Her school bus arrives in less than an hour. And the 10-year-old still isn't sure what to wear. She props the phone up on her bed, beside a stuffed Minnie Mouse toy, and holds up a pair of black leggings for the camera. On the other end of the call, some 2,000 miles away, her mom squints to get a better view. And what shirt are you wearing? She asks. Cassandra unfolds it quickly and holds it up for the camera. She gets a skeptical look in response. What else do you have? The mom asks. US authorities separated Cassandra and her 3 older sisters from their mom, Juana, that day. Cassandra sobbed and said she didn't want to leave without her. She was 7 years old. 2 weeks later, the girls went to live with their biological father in the US. Authorities eventually sent Juana back to her native Honduras. Since then, moments like this became one of the few ways mother and daughters could stay in touch. Cassandra props the phone up again, this time against a stack of t-shirts. Together she and her mother pick out a sweater to complete her look. Normally, they'd talk for another 30 minutes and maybe even doodle together while Cassandra waits for a bus. But this morning, someone's about to pick up Juana for an appointment and she can't stay on the phone. I love you so much, she tells her daughter. Now hang up. No, you hang up, Cassandra replies. I don't like to. This is what they say when they speak almost every day. No one ever wants to end the call. Their life before the US wasn't easy. Either Juana was a mother of 4 by the time she was 28. In Honduras, she and her daughters would wake up early every morning. The oldest, Montserrat, would make her sisters bailadas, a traditional Honduran dish made of homemade tortillas, beans, and cheese, while Juana would brush Cassandra's hair and get her and the other girls ready for school.
They were together, but life wasn't easy. Juana rarely had enough money for the girls' lunch at school, and the bailadas were often the things they ate until the evening. Then, in September 2016, Juana was assaulted. She reported her attacker to the police, which led to threats of violence from the man's family. She moved residences several times, but her tormentors found her and the threats continued. Fearing for their safety, Juana took her 4 daughters in 2018 and fled north. On May 22 of that year they arrived at a border crossing in El Paso, Texas, where they turned themselves into authorities, according to El Otro Lado, an organization which has been working to reunite Juanas and other families who were separated at the border. The next day, authorities separated them. An immigration official told the girls to give their mother one last hug. That moment is seared into Juana's memory. That is the biggest wound. And when I remember it, I feel as if it was happening again, she says. It's something that I don't think I'll forget. Before they were separated, Juana had never spent a day apart from her daughters. After that, she saw them only through a phone, her cherished family rituals reduced to images and voices on a tiny, glowing screen. How separations at the border affect families. The devastating aftermath of the Trump administration's family separations at the border has been well documented. The world has heard accounts of traumatized children, parents desperate for answers, and search teams combing Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala for missing mothers and fathers. We've also started to see happier scenes of joyful airport reunions. But it's rare to see what these separations mean, day after day, for people who've been living through them. The mother and her children agreed to share their stories but asked for their faces not to be shown and for their location in the US not to be revealed. The daughters also asked to be identified only by pseudonyms to protect their safety because their asylum cases are still pending. 2 days before our first in-person interview, they learned they'd be among the first families rejoined in a push by a Biden administration task force to reunite families who were separated under the Trump administration. In interviews, the girls and their mother described how their years apart shaped them and the fears they still have for the future. Her mom wore these earrings the day they were separated. Montserrat guards the sparkly silver studs like a treasure. She's the oldest of the 4 siblings. On the day their family was separated, she tried to be strong for her sisters. She didn't hug her mom goodbye. Instead, she took the earrings her mom was wearing and promised to keep them safe. She was 16 years old then. In some ways, The last 3 years have been much like that moment when they said goodbye at the border. There are things I can't say because she's my little sister, and I don't want her to carry my problems, she says. This is what any mother or father would do, right? You feel bad, but you don't show it in front of others. The oldest and youngest sister share a bedroom. On the wall, a poster says, "She is the perfect combination of princess and warrior." Beside her bed, Montserrat keeps dangling earrings atop a stack of books. She loves to wear earrings, but never the ones her mom handed over that day at the border. Those she's determined to protect and keep safe, just as she watches over her sister's dog Juana lies in bed, her pink Samsung Galaxy in hand. The corners of the casing are wearing away in the areas where she holds it. "Bless you, my love. How are you?" she asks as each daughter's face pops up on the screen. Cassandra unrolls a new poster she's just gotten of pop star Billie Eilish. "Who's that?" her mom asks. "And what happened to you? You have a bruise on your arm." Cassandra is the baby of the family, but she's no longer the little girl her mom hugged at the border more than 3 years ago. Of all the things Juana has missed, she regrets most not being there for her youngest daughter's birthdays and milestones. The cakes they didn't eat together. The songs they didn't sing. The little moments she never got to share. Her whole childhood, I missed it, Juana says. Over the last 3 years in Honduras, Juana has lived in hiding from her attacker and his family. Her only connections with the outside world are what she sees from her apartment window and what she sees on her phone. Calls and messages from her daughters both sustain her and remind her of what she's lost. She hears about their homework. She watches them skateboarding down the street. Sometimes, the distance between them has been too much to bear.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.